Hello then, welcome back to 4 and Sweden. Last time, well, we took 4 provinces from the Livonian Order. We also declared a war on Novgorod, which we're currently winning, fairly substantially I might add. And we do have some rebel issues that are really annoying, these guys. And of course we have Novgorod peasants as well to worry about. But the goal of this war is actually fairly simple. We're going to hopefully be able to, well, first and foremost crush those Scottish rebels, or Scottish troops. And the plan here is actually to vassalize Novgorod, then declare war on Muscovy, with the goal of trying to get Novgorod patriots to pop up. That could definitely be useful, but right now it just seems like there are peasants running around, which is a pain in the arse, but if I can get the Novgorod course back, that will give me a very good base to wage war from, if you will. And we'll already siege the capital of Novgorod, so that's wonderful. And I'm apparently losing a fair bit of my fleet here. So apparently, as you can see, the heavy ships here is actually really useful, or really powerful, because as you can see, they're not actually taking too much damage. So I think we'll actually just try and save the remains of our fleet here, because the heavy ships are powerful no matter how we look at it or not. So that's not the best thing ever, but we do need to rebuild our galleys at least, just so that we do have something against the war against Denmark that we will wage shortly, I dare say. 56. So if we wait a little bit of time, then wage the war against Denmark, that would be wonderful. If I declare on Muscovy, then things are going to be awkward. But what I think I might have to do here is try and ally Muscovy, drive them into war against Teutons. Might even be a very good choice here, because they have provinces that I need. I could just go for vassalization of Teutons by force here. That could definitely work. The ally with Mecklenburg and Anhalt. Mecklenburg is again something that I need, but I don't really want to take it by force right now. I would have preferred a claim, so I think we're actually just going to go with a very simple fabricate a claim on Mervel, declare war on the Teutons, drag Muscovy in, and then we are actually going to declare war on Denmark while Muscovy deals with the Teutons, and hopefully crush Denmark that way. That could definitely be a very useful way of doing things. Question now is, can I ally Muscovy before I make this peace? No. So I might get into a position here where Muscovy will not agree to an alliance. Let's just take a chance. The plan is to vassalize these guys anyway, so it doesn't really well, change anything, if you will. So let's just go for vassalizing Novgorod, and Muscovy at once went to you will die in a fire, if you will. So that's not the best thing ever. Muscovy might actually go for a straight out war against us here, more or less right away, which is troublesome. Well, never mind. We have a Regency Council for how long? A 002 Council for 7 years. Wow, this is wonderful. This is how we like to do things. Yeah, game was going well, and then that happened. So I think what I'll do here is just hire the better relations over time guy, get rid of all my exhaustion. Meanwhile, we'll also get a commandant, so we can try and do some things, but yeah, this is not looking good. We'll have to work with Novgorod, try and get our relations up with them, and I think that's basically all we'll do now. There's not really too much else we can do, and of course building up the navy, preparing for war against Denmark will be key right now. And if I had to declare a war here, I'll probably declare the war on Muscovy right now. I could also try and get, again, the alliance with Poland up and running. Doesn't seem to be that likely. Bohemia seems to, right now, be a better choice. France is dismantling Burgundy. Cornwall has been released from England. Again, England does actually seem to be kind of a likely ally right now. Nope, that's not the case. I'll accept that. I kind of need a gain for my legitimacy right now due to the fact that I do have a regency for 7 years. So, no, I'll take that one on a free admin power, thank you very much. I'll have to keep an eye on the heretics as well, but as you can see now, they are more or less done for. So I think I really would have preferred if I could declare war on Denmark now as soon as I can, because as you can see, these noble rebels are really crushing the Danes. They're just punishing them, if you will. So I'll have to see if I can bring Lithuania in on the positive side. That would be great, but it seems to be kind of doubtful. But I will try and ally with either Poland or Lithuania for a future war here against what the hell does Noble Rebels do? Shouldn't be a problem. Anyways, I will try and ally with one or both of these for the future war that I will wage against Muscovy and Denmark. So it will be interesting to see if I can actually pull something off here. I think in this case we'll actually accept it. Doesn't really matter. It'll hurt my legitimacy a little bit, of course, but let's face it, manpower, well, 7 years, I should probably just have fought them, but again, it's not something that I would consider to be a big issue. I'll rebuild my navy, I'll probably add a little bit to my troops, and we should be ready to fight the Danes again very, very soon, but we'll just have to wait and see for now. I'll be back very, very shortly. Again, I'm just showing you how bad things are actually going for Muscovy. They're having rebel issues right now. And I got a free claim on Semigala too, so that works wonderfully. But basically, again, Muscovy is having issues. England is having War of the Roses again, apparently. Or the House of Lancaster wins the War of Roses. He's relocating to Norfolk. Wow. So interesting things are happening with rebels everywhere. Meanwhile, we're stuck here, not really doing much. And I'm getting a lot of free admin power here. For all I care, I don't really need a... let's face it, I don't really need a cardinal at all. I'll take 100 admin power over a cardinal any day. Of course, if I could get the Holy See some other time, that would be great. But right now, I'll take the free admin power. It's really useful, especially considering that I did get this crappy ass Regency Council. Seriously, 002. I'm amazed at how bad they are. But that's beside the point. Muscovy is annexing its vassals, which is an issue. But yeah, I definitely need to find Muscovy very, very soon. Denmark should be easily crushed, hopefully. Poland and Muscovy now. Wow, that's wonderful. That's great. The funny thing is, I would have already been at war with Denmark hadn't it been for that Regency Council, and this started so well. I know most of you are probably like, stop crying, you crybaby, but it's just how things feel right now. Anyways, I'll just allow the Regency Council to play its course, and I'll be back once it's over. Well, I do have some interesting news here. Lithuania has actually come into the position where they would be glad to ally me, so I'll do that. They're kind of a stronger ally than Poland would have been anyways. Poland would also like to actually have an alliance right now, but I won't actually ally them, because I've already used all my diplomatic relations spots right now. The plan is actually to use, basically here, Muscovy as more or less or Lithuania as a tool for my war against Muscovy. Muscovy is still only allied with Denmark, so if I can play my cards right for the next 3 years, then it's definitely going to be interesting. I've also added 2 horse regiments to my army, so that should help out a little bit. And since I have you all here right now, we might as well do some tech upgrades. We're going to do an upgrade to admin tech, level 5, constable and temples, giving me a set of buildings. And of course we're going to do a military tech upgrade to level 5, standardized pikes, which gives an increased combo width by 2, infantry shock by 0.15, and gives me 3 new types of infantry here. And I guess we'll go with the longbow because they're basically in between again. But Novgorod is doing well, they're paying us some money. I'm tempted to turn them into a march, but right now we are just going to keep them as they are. We're going to improve, I don't think I need to improve relations with them, to be perfectly honest. So I'm tempted here to actually improve relations with France and Austria, since they are more or less the 2 potential big shots that I might be able to abuse in the future. I'm not going to say ally anymore, I'm just going to say abuse, because that's basically the plan. But I'll wait for the basically the Regency here to end, then we'll go after Muscovy if Lithuania is done with their war and if they want to join, because then I think we can win, we can recover Novgorod, we can force Denmark to give up their deals with Poland, so I can fight a reconquest war later on, just have them give up both of their deals for them to get out of the war. That is the plan. And again, I'll probably have to do some more upgrades to my navy, because it might come into a awkward spot. So I'm actually going to add a carrack to it, I think, or I'm a little bit unsure, but the Danes do at least have some light ships, so I think we're going to add a couple more galleys to it. I think I'm over my naval force limits, but yeah, I'm actually over my naval force limits, but it should be fine. We actually have a really, really good economy right now, so I'm not too worried. Worst case now, I'll just kick my my advisor, so it shouldn't be an issue. For now, however, I'll wait for the Regency Council to end, then we're going after Muscovy. So, Lithuania just took a really large chunk out of the Golden Horde, which again gives them a pretty sweet border here. but could also make them very funny for our war here against Muscovy. That is probably going to happen very, very soon. Lithuania is a Tech 4, Muscovy is a Tech 4, so we still have a military tech advantage, but it's still going to take a while before we are reaching the council done. 2 more years, but we do have a fairly good king coming to us, so that should be fine. There we go. As you can see here, we do now have a new king, Eric the 14th Fleming, and unfortunately we'll get a union with, I think, Lithuania. Succession war between Lithuania and Sweden. What? So I can fight a war if I want to stay independent or not, I guess, something like that. But we do have a fairly good king right now, and I don't really think I want to turn him into a general. It seems to be kind of a way to get him killed and potentially a union happening. So we'll recruit a general, which turned out to be a single shock point. That has got to be the crimiest general ever. But, as I said here, we are going to wage a war against Muscovy. I'm going to declare on Muscovy because Denmark do still have Poland as an ally. But they will join, and I should be able to keep them at bay with my navy here, so I wouldn't be too concerned. Let's see here, if we wait for the month to just take over, because that will make it easier in terms of morale and stuff like that. Along with Denmark, they will call upon, as you can see here, Muscovy themselves. I can go for reconquest on basically everything here, but in this case I think we'll take Ladoga, because it's basically very, very close. So that should be fine. And let the games begin, I guess. Again, I could make Denmark a co-belligerent, but then I'll be able to call in Poland. And let's face it, I don't really want Poland to be split in this. Basically, having the Lithuanian army split in two is not going to be positive. Unfortunately, Lithuania is actually in Crimea right now, so they won't be able to help for a while. But as basically, if I can get Denmark out of it without any issues, I would be perfectly happy. So we'll go for a war here against Muscovy to take Ladoga. And I'll be aiming to break the alliances that Denmark currently has with at least Poland. So it should be fairly straightforward, all things considered. Let's just go ahead and declare war. Danes actually have a very substantial navy here themselves, so I could get in trouble there. But let's face it, I have the Hansa navy on my side, so it should be winnable. Let's just be honest. And again, it will go for destroying the Norwegian army first, because that is basically the simplest thing to do. And again, as I said, the Hansa do have a very capable navy. Where the hell did my navy go? Oh, it's hidden behind this navy, apparently. And boom, we currently have control over the strait, and if we get attacked by the ported, or the navy at port, we'll probably get help from the Hansa. I would, presume. Again, prestige hit here, not the best thing ever, but can't really do too much about it. Norway, getting lucky modifiers, both, lucky and lucky. They get the terrain modifier, and they also get a sea modifier, which is not good. But again, the goal is just to siege, basically, I think, Denmark's capital. Should be enough. We do have morale issues. 3 is the maximum for us, 3 is the maximum for theirs, so that was kind of weird. But it is what it is. Positively enough here, the Danes army can't really run too far. So boom, that's done with. And I'll use this 6,000 men here to basically keep everything under control, I think. And we'll siege these 3 provinces first, and then we'll move from there. But the goal, as I said, is to get the Danes out of this more or less ASAP, and then start working on Muscovy here and their allies. Unfortunately, Lithuania is having some, rebel issues as well, so could turn out that I will have to fight Muscovy on my own and have to rely on mercenaries, which could of course be a real issue here. I wouldn't expect them to have this many troops, but worst case scenario, I'll just hire a mercenary and have them scorch the land here. We'll have to see. But as soon as I get Denmark out of this, it's going to be a lot easier. Iberian wedding focus still not the best thing for me, but I definitely do need to get Muscovy out of this really, really soon. So let's see what kind of deals we can get with Muscovy in terms of retrieving our provinces, if you will. I can restore Novgorod completely with 100% peace deal here, so that is wonderful. It will cost me 250 diplomatic power, which isn't too much, and should be perfectly alright. But I have to beat Denmark first, and then we can start working on Muscovy, which will be hard. They are Eastern tech, of course, but I have a really crappy general here, so I think I might just have to take a chance to try and make him a general. Of course, really, really horrible him too. But let's face it, if I can get the Hansa to help me out here by marching, as well as get Lithuania to focus on Muscovy rather than the current issue, then I think we can turn this around. I'll also just have to try and get attrition game on my side. Have Muscovy lose out to attrition could be one way, but again, it's kind of an awkward gamble I made here, especially due to the fact that my prestige is really, really low, so I could get punished by that. And also the fact that I'm currently losing a battle here that I'm actually going to completely lose by the looks of it, but I actually managed to reinforce there, surprisingly enough. We'll march and siege Shellen, I think, just lay a little bit of pressure to these guys and see if that helps. There we go. Can I now force Denmark to give up their alliance with Poland? No, they will not accept anything right now, so not really too much I can do. I'll send these guys back to Scotland so I can actually, well, help everyone. So I'll just allow the siege with Denmark here to go for a little bit longer, and I'll show you if there's anything interesting happened here, but hopefully there won't be too much. Surprisingly enough, it doesn't actually seem like I can force Denmark to do anything, which is awkward and kind of annoying, but not really too much I can do about it, as one might expect here. It seems like, again, I don't really have the choice to force Denmark to give up its as you can see, give up its ally, give up claims is the only thing I can do. I'll force them to give war operations. That's about the only thing I can do. I could try and drag the war out for a little bit of gold, but I don't think there's any point to that, so I'll just force them to pay me war operations and we'll leave it at that, I think. And again, now I have to join up my army to try and beat back the Muscovites here, which will be kind of difficult, but they are kind of spread out, which is wonderful. And I get a trade forecast battle on Denmark. Well, that's wonderful. I guess I'll have to probably leave one of the Novgorod provinces out of this, just to try and get myself into a position where I can declare war on, well, on Denmark, I think. Not really too much else I can do at the moment. And again, I'm getting a lot here, lose a ton of points or accept our terms deals, which I don't really like. We will not get there first, which is troublesome. But at least as long as the Muscovite army just keeps on running around here and actually sieging, it's losing a ton of men to attrition here, which is really, really useful for me. So as long as Muscovy does that, I think I can just be happy with dragging this war out. Worst case now, I'll just have to reduce war exhaustion a couple of times. But even so, we should be, again, perfectly capable of winning this war, I think. And they actually chose to attack me in bad terrain here. They got the crossing, they got the terrain penalty, and they have a crappy general to boot. So they lost a lot of men here, and they actually did the same thing again. They didn't get both the negative modifiers, but they still are losing a ton of men for no good reason. I'm getting my prestige back, which is wonderful. I'm getting army tradition. I'm inflicting more war exhaustion than I'm getting. And let's face it, basically the only real thing I need to do in this war is inflict war exhaustion. Because no matter how you think about it, if Muscovy get enough war exhaustion here, the well, rebels for Novgorod will hopefully rise up. That is at least what I'm hoping for here. It's not too likely, but I can always hope. So we'll keep this going for a while longer. Worst case scenario is, for instance, that let's say Novgorod decides to peace out. But right now things are looking really, really good, and we'll continue, I think, next time. We have a 151 heir to the throne, which is basically just a tiny, tiny bit better than your average, well, your average, what's it called? Republic ruler, which is not the greatest thing ever either, but it is what it is. So I think for the time being we'll focus on reclaiming the Novgorod lands more so than anything else. It seems to be safe to do so. So I'll just set up armies to again re-siege these lands, and then we can start moving on Muscovy itself. So with that said, I'll leave it here. Thank you for watching. Please have a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.